Hello everybody, this is Carla and I'm here to do a review for the premiere episode of Season 4 of the History Channel show Vikings. And I'm going to try to be brief, though I know I always say that and then I end up talking for like 25 minutes. But I'll try to be brief with this one because honestly I didn't like it as much. This show, Vikings, is coming off of a Season 3 that was, quite frankly, it was amazing. Every episode was a 5-star for me, or like most of them at least. This season is actually, it did so well last season that this season is actually twice as long. They ordered like twice as many episodes. So I think it's a good sign that the show is doing well. But because season 3 was so packed with action and twists up until the very last episode, I think it was inevitable that this one started off a little bit slow. It's like everything that's happening now after the raids in Paris, right? So it's like downtime again, and it you could feel it in the episode that it was a lot slower paced than we're usually expecting from this show. There were a few things that I did like from the episode. I really enjoyed Lagertha's scenes, especially the last one with the when Calf killed all those people. I thought it was, first off, this episode should be subtitled, "Damn, those French crossbows are really effective," because they used it twice in 2 ambushes, and they were devastating. Nobody saw those crossbows coming, but I thought that was just really funny. But I really like that one scene with Calf, not necessarily because of Calf, because I'm kind of still hoping that Lagertha will kill the little worm. Pun very intended, by the way. I don't trust Calf anymore, not after everything he did last season. And I find it really fishy that now he's like, "Oh, I'm back in love with you," with Lagertha. Really, no, I don't buy it. And I really do hope that Lagertha doesn't fall for it again. I hope she kills him when she gets the chance, because that dude is not good news. That said, the other dudes weren't any better either, so I'm glad they died. I'm glad they had that little scene of Lagertha just cutting off a little thingy, because, come on. Ugh, that dude was so creepy. Obviously I'm not endorsing anybody cutting off any guy's thingy in real life, but in fiction it was very satisfactory, I just have to say. And it's good to see that Lagertha, even when she's not fighting, and even when she's not leading necessarily, because again they're like co-earls or whatever it is, even when she's not, she still has this dignity and this strength to her and this, I don't know, heaviness to her presence that you just can't take away from the character. She's awesome, and I really like the fact that she gets to be co-Errol, hopefully Soul Errol, soon after she kills Calf, because that's totally coming, guys. So I like that. I liked I liked that Rollo didn't, rape the princess. That would have been, I kind of don't get why he wouldn't, honestly. And I know that sounds horrible, but I'm just thinking in the sense of the period of this show where it takes place. I almost kind of think that he would have in any other circumstance. I guess they're trying to make a point that he doesn't feel he should force himself on a woman who obviously doesn't want it, because he can get any he wants, or because he can convince her to eventually fall in love with him and they can do it, in the good way. I don't yet know what the point it is they were trying to prove, but I liked it because, again, it's this woman who's forced into a marriage she obviously doesn't want. She was crying the whole time. She was reluctant the whole time. It also goes to show that the whole, it also goes to show that the whole, speak now or forever hold your peace bit of the church marriage ceremony wasn't really instituted until much, much later. And the whole bit about them coming in of their own free will obviously just didn't exist at that time because girls were forced to marry left and right. But even though she was the victim in this case, I still got a sense from her that she was trying as much as she could to stop it and to assert herself and her wishes. And she didn't really get it, but at the same time, at least Rollo kind of thought that maybe he didn't have to rape her, you know? And it's funny because there's this belief, if you've ever been in a Vikings related fandom of any kind, there's this belief around that the Vikings actually had to like the people in town would actually come and watch the couple have sex for the first time because they had to, I don't know, prove that it actually happened or whatever. That's not true, okay? Vikings didn't actually do that. People didn't actually have to be present for the consummation. They just had to be like, take the bride and groom to the room before and witness as they took off the bride's crown and whatnot, and then they left and they had sex on their own. But I found it so funny that while Vikings are usually accused of that, here you have the Catholic Church, bunch of people just waiting around for Rollo to actually rape this girl. You know, it was so funny. If he hadn't sent them away, they would have stayed there. And I thought that was hilarious. I don't know what the custom was for the Catholic Church back then. I don't know if they actually had to watch. I doubt it, but I just thought it was a funny, you know, kind of tidbit, like historical tidbit that I found really funny. Again, I don't know what they're gonna do with Rollo. Like, I liked that one scene, but for the rest of it, I didn't really care. I honestly don't care. I know they have to be historically accurate and stuff, but Rollo by himself in Paris doing nothing is really, really boring. So, I don't know. I hope they come up with something for him to do, because he does have to stay in France. But it's not very interesting at all. Another thing I did like, though, was the little hints they keep giving to Bjorn being, you know, wanting to explore like Ragnar. I thought this was really cool because knowing the historical accounts of Bjorn and how he became pretty much like the biggest Viking seafarer explorer after Ragnar. I mean, he crossed Gibraltar, and he raided Spain, and he raided the south of France and the Mediterranean, and he was actually very famous. So I like that those little bits. I'm hoping that we actually do get to see Bjorn leading raids this season, and it's not just all of him being, you know, a hermit in the forest, because that would be boring. But hopefully we'll get to see a bit more of the evolution of Bjorn, because I think he's a really interesting character. You know, I didn't necessarily like the fact that he seems not to want to do anything with his daughter simply because he's pissed off at Thorin, but, you know, it is what it is. Vikings, what can you do? Speaking of that scene, another thing I didn't really like about the episode is just Aslog in general, because, okay, I've never really been a fan of Aslog, and I never liked this idea that she comes across as someone whose only goal in life was to marry a rich dude so she could be rich, and now, you know, she's married to the king and she wants to be queen. She is the queen, so now she's kind of at the top, you know. I never liked that about her. She does have her moments, though, like in this episode when Bjorn seems to kind of not care about his daughter. She gives him the best glare ever. It's like, yeah, we'll take care of her, you a-hole. That was unsaid, but you could see that she was thinking it. You know, she does have her moments, but in general, I just don't care about her. And they've been dragging this drama of the fact that Ragnar doesn't want her anymore. They've been dragging it out for, like, an entire season at the very least, and it's getting really boring. So now Ragnar has his eyes on this slave, which she looks Asian. I mean, they said they were from Paris, but she looks Asian, and I'm kind of glad that they're bringing in some diversity, because you kind of get tired of the blonde blue-eyed thing after a while. But I understand the fact that they have to be, I don't know, historically accurate or whatever. But I'm glad they're bringing in some diversity, because, yeah, slaves kind of came from all over the place, I guess. And I guess now Ragnar is going to be, like, all about this slave girl. And Aslaug, obviously, is not going to like that. But can't we just move on from Aslaug already? It's like, okay, I know they did it in a weird way, because Ragnar actually had 3 wives, and we never actually got to see the first wife. We only saw Lagertha, who was the second and third, and then Aslaug. And I'm like, really, I don't like Aslaug, okay? I don't like her as a character, and I don't think she brings anything to the table other than, jealousy that her husband obviously doesn't love her anymore. She should have more dignity than that. Come on, Lagertha did it. You can do it too, Aslaug. But I don't know. I'm kind of just so tired of her already, that I would rather see them raiding and away from Kattegat, because in Kattegat I just don't get it. Then there was the whole Floki thing, which, okay, I've always liked Floki. I agree that he messed up. He shouldn't have killed Athelstan. But the one who really makes me sad is Helga, because I love Helga. Helga's awesome, okay? She's great. And she does love Loki, but you could see it in her eyes that she knows the Loki's kind of out of his mind. And then what he did was wrong. So I'm looking forward to seeing what happens to her. I don't know about this whole drama with Ragnar and Floki, and it's like, but we're brothers. No, we're not. You killed Athelstan. It's like, really? As if we didn't have enough relationship drama with Aslaug. It's just, I don't know. I mean, I want to see what goes down just because of Helga, because I don't know if she's actually going to help Floki escape or what's going to happen. I love Helga, so I want to see what's going to happen with her and their kid. But otherwise, I don't. I did enjoy seeing the kids, though. I like that the kids grew up. Ragnar's kids, I mean. It's good to see them grow up, because you get a sense of passage of time that you don't really get with the rest of them, because they're all the same age, obviously. But the kids growing up, it's nice. Even Ivor in his little cart, I thought that was so cute. So I really enjoyed it. But yeah, I mean, other than that, the episode just didn't have much interesting stuff in as far as I'm concerned. Again, only the Lagertha thing, maybe the Rollo thing with the whole not raping this poor girl, and that was pretty much it. It didn't, coming off of a season that was so intense, it was a bit of a letdown, I would say. But I'm sure things will pick up soon enough, because these are Vikings. They can't go on for too long without raiding anything. And a lot of the drama can be good. Just the politics of it all and the betrayals, those are interesting to me, so I hope we get to see more of that. In the meantime, this episode was just kind of okay. It wasn't bad, it just wasn't interesting, not really. I just watched it out of I have to watch it because I have to keep going. I have to know this so I can know what happens next, but this in particular wasn't very interesting to me. So, yeah, that's kind of my whole idea about the episode. That's it for my review. As usual, be sure to visit our website at thegeekypub.com. We have reviews not just for the previous season of Vikings, but also for other TV shows, books, movies, games. We have a ton of stuff in there, so be sure to visit and check it out. And also remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, because that's usually where our reviews go up first. Even before they hit the website, most of the time they're up on YouTube, so if you subscribe, you will make sure that you're not missing anything whenever we upload anything new. That's it from me. I will see you guys in my next review. Bye.